I'm doing fantastic. It was funny because I thought I went live on YouTube, but I didn't. It had a second button that I had to push, and I hadn't pushed it. So this whole time I was talking, thinking that I was talking to both. Um, but it's up and running now. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Flory. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? I have a very hot, fresh tea, so muy bien. Muy bien. Mm. So we're gonna get some learning in. We're gonna get some learning in. We're gonna do some activation stuff. It's a good session today about your sovereign light body. So reconnecting or reaffirming and strengthening the connection between you and your higher self, which is really powerful, or what I call as your oversoul. But your oversoul and higher self interchangeable. Mm-hmm. So on TikTok, it's one of those ones where you have to tap the screen for me, ladies. I would love it if you could tap the screen. I'm going to check in and see which guide is or master is following us today, or that's guiding us today. Trying to think of any. Lady Nada. Lady Nada is one that I have a very strong connection to. Hello, Ale. Mwah. Good morning, guys. What great energy you guys have this morning. I don't know. That's what I feel from you. And maybe it's the sun kind of boosting things a little bit. It has been a while. So Lady Nada. So in order to activate this particular ascended master in your life today, you just repeat this affirmation 3 times. And the affirmation for this particular card is, I open myself to the greater family. I open myself to the greater family. I open myself to the greater family. Perfect. I know you said it beautifully. So there we have Lady Nada guiding us today, which is perfect. We are needing to really return to the concept of being a greater family, and that no matter where you live in the world, whether you're in the US, the UK, Canada, Costa Rica, wherever you are. Sorry, there's some doves that like to perch on the ledge there, and I thought I heard them landing and getting into position. And I mean, I would get excited about that. Hi, Priya. But I find that a lot of people have lost their humanity. And whether it's, this lately we've been in Canada dealing with our federal election. And during any election time, there's a lot more hatred going on. And I think for many of us that associate with me or that align with me, you probably are the same as me, that you see it all as a farce. That is all the lies. Like, we've been lied to on such big levels. And I have to say this for TikTok, because the reason why I wasn't here last week is because the week before, on the Thursday, I was talking about some things, and that offended TikTok's algorithm or their gods of, like the whatevers. So they gave me a little bit of a time out. So I wasn't allowed to go live last week. Yeah, I'm in Ontario. I've lived in 3 provinces for quite a bit of my life, right? And yeah, and it's same thing. So what happened in our country was the same thing that happened in the States, where the party that was currently in switched the leader, right? They switched the leader, and then they ran an election that year, which was interesting. It's really, when you stand back from it and you see all of it. And now I'm not saying that anyone that was on the ballot was worth voting, or it's just my belief. I'm like nonpartisan. I'm non-political, because I see it all as a scam. But anyway, because I got blocked last week, I have to say that this is for entertainment purposes. This is just me goofing around, this, whatever, the censorship stuff. And I know that those people in the UK are starting to feel the effects of that. And this is news. This is on the news. where the UK is starting to arrest citizens for things that they're posting on social media and viewpoints. Realistically, in the UK right now, all you have to do is be offended by what someone posted and then report them because you were offended by it, and then the police go and arrest them for offending you. That's it. That's the format of it. And I was like, well, everything the government and the elites say offends me. So does that mean I get to charge them and then they get arrested for offending offending people? How many people would have to report the government for offending them with the stuff that they're putting out? Because in UK, there's going to be blocking the sun, which is funded by Bill Gates, interestingly enough. I don't know what some dude that owns a company in the US, and I know, but I don't understand what he has to do with dimming the sun in the UK. But he's funding it. So anyway, he's got something to do with it. And the UK, one of the, it's a gloomy environment because of how much cloud cover they get annually and how much rain they get. But then you're going to want to dim the sun. Like, how does this make any sense? And how does the logic of the population, like the public, how does the logic of the public just not connect the dots between we're carbon-based life forms and they have made carbon the enemy in climate? So as they decrease carbon, life decreases. Things like plants don't grow as hardy, right? People don't. We need carbon. But we actually in Canada, we literally pay money to reduce the very thing that is life-giving. And now you have in the UK where they're going to block the sun, which is the other thing that we need for life. Like, we literally need the sun. That guy needs the sun. The food that we eat needs the sun. So, like, what in the ever-living insanity? And yet, why isn't every single person, not one, not two, not the red, not the white, not the blue, not the black, not the whatever, not one culture, not one, why isn't everybody, every single person should be like, what? No. I do not consent. I do not consent. I do not consent. I do not consent to poisons in the air, poisons in the water, poisons in the food. I do not consent to my sun being blocked. I do not consent to the very things that are healthy for the life of plants and animals and self. The plants and animals didn't agree to this. Mother Gaia certainly didn't consent to this. Nobody's consenting to this. So why we should be standing up, if the population was 8.1 billion people, 8 billion people at least should be standing up. So anyway, that was me on my little bit of but the humanity is what I don't understand at the end of the day. It's more the humanity and where that's gone, because we've bought into the lies that they've told us. I watched a video this morning and it was just like, oh my goodness. Because it's with the US, there's so much that's going on, and you need to look at everything that's going on everywhere as this is beautiful chaos, because people wake up when they see things that are absolutely like weird. Buenos dias, right? If there's something like, it's when things really start, the friction, we need that. We need something that makes you just go, no, enough is enough, right? It's the same thing in your own personal healing journey. You hit that moment where you're like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going through this experience. I'm not doing this cycle anymore. Right? So then you stand up and you do the work that's necessary so you don't, right? That's what we're waiting for within society. But there's still so many people out there that want to say it's this person's problem. It's, or it's this religion's problem, or it's this culture's problem, or it's this. And it's like, no, there's this whole matrix of lies that we're all living under, and you need to see outside those matrix of lies. Love you, Ale. Have a beautiful day. We have to be able to see beyond the lies and the manipulation and be, that's not how we're meant to live. That's not how we're meant to experience life. We're not meant to look at the differences among our cultures as a bad thing. We're meant to look at it as a beautiful thing. What can I learn from the way that you've decided to adapt to life? How am I supposed to, can I take from the experiences that you've had or what you share, right? Like, there's so many beautiful things. And when we see something in another culture that's beautiful, so much so that we want to utilize it ourselves, as long as we're doing it from the space of, I appreciate and love your culture and I'm going to honor it in the same way that you do, then you should share it. It's just, why not share that? And it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing how much hate has been seeded against everything. The video was of a Marine, and because of certain documents that are being declassified, the truth is coming out. And there's a lot of veterans who are going to be faced with the fact that they were manipulated and lied to and sent to do atrocities to other countries, not for the reasons that they thought, not for the purpose that they thought, not to protect, but to actually be the villain. They thought that they were protecting, or doing something honorable, and in the releasing of the documents that are bringing out the truth of what's going on, people are going to start going, oh my God, I have to reconcile that I did these things under the guise of some lies, and I'm finding out that that's not why, right? This is the world that, we're seeing right now. There are so many things, and it's all in your face. What we need to do is become sovereign from that. We can't have it pull on our emotions and drag us down. We can't buy into what they're selling, right? We have to recognize that all of this chaos, yes, there are absolutely forces at play here that want to take the earth and just drag it into the depths of control and, just darkness. They absolutely, there are those, and you can recognize that, but that's not going to be your truth, because you're not going to pay into that system. You're not going to pay into that system with your attention. You're going to turn your TV off. You're going to go out and you're going to connect with nature, right? You're going to do your energetic work. You're going to cleanse your energy. You're going to do your toning. You're going to do the things that you need to do to keep yourself sovereign from the stuff that's going on around us. Because when they take your emotions, right, they take your whole vibration. So us getting really, really worked up, it's doing exactly what they want, and they can feed off of that energy. And so we have to learn to be sovereign, which brings us to today's episode. And I'm going to have to maybe kind of tighten it up a little bit with what I have that I wanted to share in today's show, because I have to be off at noon. I have class. I teach class at noon. And you can find out more about that stuff if you go to the website, which is Anshara'El.com. So the same as my thing here, Anshara'El, and then .com. Alrighty. So we are post new moon. We had the new moon on the 27th. And so it's the 29th now. So we're a couple of days past the new moon, but still well within the energy of it still. So let's talk about this. So today's episode is Sovereign Lightbody, recalibrating your field to Oversoul authority. So this is connecting to your higher self. So today we deepen the work of embodiment by stepping fully into the frequency of a sovereign light body. Your light body is not just about your aura or a vehicle of ascension. It's your Oversoul's living scroll, encoded with divine authority, waiting to be fully sung through your form. So as we move out of emotional creation and into Oversoul anchored manifestation, we leave behind fractured energy fields and we stand fully in crystalline coherence. Then you're not a scattered signal. You become a pillar of command. So today we're going to recalibrate our light bodies to its original design. I think that sounds like fun. So let's have fun. Oh, it said start a flash goal. We're not worried about that. Hello, Craig. How are you today? Alrighty. So today we're going to start with some breath work. Okay. So place your hands over your heart center and we're going to breathe deeply, inhaling and exhaling into the heart and exhaling through the spine. Okay. So in through the heart, out through the spine. So just see it as coming in through your heart this way and out through your back, through your spine. Okay. Very simple. Okay. In and out. In and out. And in and out. Now visualize crystalline wings, vast, radiant, luminous, extending from your heart and spine outward. It's beautiful wings. Each exhale expands your field. So breathe in that beautiful, beautiful energy and exhale into those beautiful wings that you have. And see it expanding. See it sealing your frequency. Okay. In through the heart, out through the spine, expanding those wings, sealing your energy. Okay. And now we're just going to send in a little affirmation. I open my light body to Oversoul command. And if Oversoul feels uncomfortable, to say I open my light body to higher self command. Okay. I expand in truth. I seal in sovereignty. Okay. Do you feel good now? I feel better having done some deep breathing, right? And breath is what's going to bring you back. Sound is going to bring you back. Lots of tools that we have in our toolkit. And if you're not certain what to do, go look at the other videos that are shared on my YouTube channel, because every live that I do is posted on my YouTube channel. So you can go there and watch the replay for whatever episode. And then go through the process again. But we should be doing daily energetic practices. We shouldn't just be muddling through our lives the way that we are. We're taught to completely disregard that whole part of us that we're energetic beings or that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And, that really shuts us off from a lot of the stuff that we're supposed to be doing. Good morning, divine timing. Hello, love. It's taking us away from all the stuff that we're meant to be doing, right? And it's making us open to energy siphoning or open to attack or open to manipulation, right? When you're sovereign in your field, you're not manipulated by the things that are going on around you. You check in with yourself and you determine, hey, yeah, that is correct. And you don't just listen, like everything that everybody's speaking, including myself, run it through your field and check and see if it's true. Don't just believe everything someone says to you. Don't believe everything that people post, especially in the age of AI. They're getting really, really good at creating things. And we know that they've got body doubles and there's cloning and there's all kinds of stuff. We know this. 11:11. So you observe it. You don't absorb the information. Right? You don't allow it to affect your field. You don't allow it to drag you into something emotionally. You don't feed your energy into it in a negative way, right? You're sovereign about that. Okay. So ego field, fractured field, and sovereign field. We need to understand the difference between these three. So the ego field it arises when your identity is inflated through fear, external validation, seeking, or perceived control over outcomes. It contracts or expands when expands reactively, right? It's distorting the natural flow of your light body. And in this field, creation is not forced. It's is forced. Sorry. In this field, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's not forced. It's just forced. I don't know why I'm saying not. Get out of my mouth. It is. It is a creation field where you're forcing things, like you're literally pushing things into reality as opposed to just birthing them into reality. The fractured field stems from energetic leaks created by unresolved trauma, codependency, self-doubt, and unconscious attachments. So when you have to validate or you have to ask somebody and you have to go to somebody and go, okay, what decision should I make in this situation? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? That in and of itself is showing that your field is fractured. If you have this attachment to people or things outside of yourself, or you haven't done your trauma work, for example, then your field is definitely fractured, right? So this is so it's important to distinguish between that. And then this scattered field or fractured field that you have, right? It is a field with gaps and it has torn currents. It's easily influenced by external energies and often exhausting to maintain. So if you're feeling really tired all the time and you know that a lot of your energy is going outwardly, right? Then that's a fractured field. Well, we're going to do some healing on that. So it scatters your magnetism and weakens your manifestation field. So that's why your things don't show up for you, because your field is scattered. So the energy, it doesn't know where to go. It's like like your frequency is like your address when you're manifesting. So if your frequency is scattered, then it's like the postman trying to send it to an address that keeps changing. And it's like, I don't know where their home really is, right? So that's kind of a good way to describe it. So the sovereign field is one that is pure crystalline coherence. This is one that is aligned with your oversoul or your higher self. It is focused on through source, intention, and divine will. It generates the energy from within, magnetizing abundance, opportunities, and relationships naturally. I love you, right? It does not collapse or inflate. It stabilizes and emanates. When you're in your sovereign field, you are powered from within, and I feel like it's like you have an engine almost that's just propelling you towards the things that you're doing, and you're not doing them in an egoic way. I don't show up here because I want people to come and clap or I want people to cheer. I've been doing this for 4 years straight now, and if I had have went by any metric system of numbers or any other outside factors, I would have probably quit my company a year or two in. I wouldn't have stayed. I'm here because the purpose of what I'm bringing it's just within me. It is me. It's who I am. It's what I'm meant to do. And I know that. So I'm powered from that fuel center. Now, I wasn't always that way. And that's why I'm 4 years in. Because in the beginning, there was this sense of martyrdom or savior, like I'm going to save people, I'm going to help people. And there was this, I'm going to also make money. I'm going to make money off of this. So there were both of those things. And I looked at a lot of providers out there or people that were doing the same thing as me. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I was like them. Look at how many followers they have and look at their life that they have. And, so there was a lot of outside seeking. So I was very fractured in the beginning. And so things did not pan out for me right away. I wasn't operating from that sovereign seat. But now I've worked towards doing the healing, and I do all kinds of content around this. So you can find on my YouTube channel where it's all saved, or what I really think every single one of you should do is go to my website and sign up for the free, completely free group. And I have other groups there that do cost money, but this is, the Temple of Light is a free membership portal that you can come and you can get lots of great information, lots of practical, useful stuff for you in your path to sovereignty and, in healing. Okay. So your sovereign field generates from within, right? It's very stable. It's very, it emanates and radiates, and your address becomes very known because your frequency becomes stable. right? So it's like, I know exactly where to deliver that to. So when you fully anchor in your sovereign field, you no longer need to shield or defend yourself, because you become the harmonizer of your environment through the power of your embodied frequency. So today we're going to move through fractured resonance and into crystalline command, because today we're going to reclaim the living authority of our oversoul through every thread of our light body. That's what our practical thing is that we're going to do today. Now I have to switch my legs. My one leg is asleep. Oh, it fell asleep, guys. Oh, so uncomfortable. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'll talk about in a little bit, I'll talk about some of the questions, common questions that get asked on this topic. So I'll fill you in on those as well. So let's do this. Let's do a magnetic recalibration, shall we? Are you ready? Now, if you can stand up, it's cool, but you don't have to. You just want to make sure that you're going to sit nice and tall, right? So you're sitting in your authority. And we're going to, this is a practice that is moving, right? It's a practice which you have to actually move your body during. So somatic, there we go. I knew I'd find it eventually. The word was evading me. Somatic. This is a somatic practice. So shall we begin? I think we shall. Okay. So sitting or standing tall, what we're going to do is we're going to start to spiral our body. Okay, we're just doing spiraling movements. So you can spiral through your hip region, you can spiral through your chest region. You're just going in a spiral direction, right? You can spiral with your arms. You can move your arms independently in spirals as well, right? But you're just creating a spiral energy through your body, specifically your pelvis, your spine, and your shoulders. Okay, so we're just doing a spiral. Okay, you're moving gently but purposefully. And as you're doing the spiraling, you're seeing these crystalline threads weave through your body, spine to skin. Okay. And with each motion, we're now going to affirm, I am crystalline coherence. I generate my reality through my field. Okay. I magnetize through oversoul intention. You can close your eyes while you're doing this if you feel like you're being, watched or whatever. I am crystalline coherence. Okay. I generate my reality through my field. I magnetize through oversoul intention. Feel your field expand, stabilize, and magnetize only what serves your highest good. Okay. So I'm just going to let you expand your field as much as you need to. And again, we're just going in spiraling movement through the hip, spine, and pelvis. And we're saying, I am crystalline coherence. I generate my reality through my field. I magnetize through oversoul intention. Okay. You can keep your breath going nice and deep, or just return to a normal breath for you. Okay. All right. Do you feel like you've expanded your field out in a nice big giant orb of energy, of this crystalline threads weaving outwardly, attracting back to you? You feel your field stabilizing in that space. Okay, we're going to say it one more time. I am crystalline coherence. I generate my reality through my field. And I magnetize through oversoul intention. Okay? All right. So let's discuss some of the common questions and answers for this topic. And if you have any questions that aren't answered here, let me know. Okay. So how do I know if I'm manifesting from oversoul or ego? Well, oversoul manifestations feel expansive, they feel peaceful, and they feel inevitable. They come from alignment, not from desperation, right? Ego manifestations feel urgent, they feel heavy or controlling. If your manifestation liberates you and others, it's oversoul, right? If your manifestation is very self serving, ego, right? It makes sense. So, what if my field feels heavy even after anchoring? Be patient because density can clearing can stir old patterns before they release. So breathe, tone. We talked about toning in other episodes, but in case you've not participated or not been in one of the episodes before, toning is where you're doing your ahs and your ohms and your mms, right? Those frequency music, like listening to frequencies. But toning is when you're toning with like you're toning sounds through your voice, like through your own voice box, that you're actually making the sounds. So you can use, like with each of the chakras, there's a tone. There's ram, lam, yam, like all of those. I'm not going to get into that in depth. There is toning ah and om. Is a big one. Ooh, like going through the vowels and the different ways that the vowels can be expressed, or other tonings that you can do. So again, breathe, tone, anchor again, right? The light body stabilizes through practice, not force. We're supposed to be doing energetic practices every day. It's no different than moving your body every day. It's no different than meditating every day, or it's no different than eating healthy. We're supposed to be doing certain things every day. So it's just do them, right? The way that you get there is through embodiment. And a lot of times people are hoping that there's just a switch, right? I'm going to go see this person and they're going to do energy work on me. And then it's just going to be boom, everything perfect. And the problem is that nothing happens without embodiment. Nothing happens until you embody what you want to embody. If I want to be somebody that's healthy, that's not going to happen until I embody the practices of a healthy person, right? Until I start doing the things that are a healthy person's practices, I'm not going to see my health change, right? Until I change something. So, like I'm not going to connect more easily with my guides or with my oversoul or my higher self. I'm not going to connect more easily with that if I'm not taking opportunities to connect, if I'm never getting quiet and allowing myself to sit in silence, if I'm always numbing out with drugs or alcohol or TV or gossip or movies or gaming or porn or complaining. Like there's so many things that we just put our attention on outwardly that is energetically poor for us, right? It's just, if we were to use energy and we were to think of that as our currency, and if you were to spend your energy on those things, what are you going to get returned from those things? Well, you're losing energy in engaging with those, or it's going to energetically put you in an energy that is, or a frequency that's not good for you. That's going to, why lower your frequency so you have to work to bring it back up again, right? Because that's what you have to look at is this going to lower my frequency? And if it is going to lower my frequency, should I allow it to lower my frequency? Because then I have to do the work to bring it back up again. And so is it worth it, right? Like we have to start looking at our energy in those types of ways. So it's practice. We have to practice. Hi, Tally. How are you? Hi, Miles. So again, how can I strengthen my light body after a draining interaction? So recenter immediately, right? Do the breathing into your heart, connect in. If you drop your awareness to your heart and connect in that space through your breath, right? It is such a centering practice and it's so simple. I do it so frequently throughout the day and have done this practice for a while that I can center into myself in one breath. And I'm just connected. And I feel myself actually move, like my whole body move into a perfectly upright, balanced space. Like I feel my alignment, not just internally, but also physically in my form. So recenter immediately, breathe into your heart and extend crystalline wings. We just did this today. Extend those crystalline wings from your spine and affirm, I recalibrate to Oversoul command, right? So you're connecting back into your higher self. And again, you can say, I recalibrate to higher self command if Oversoul feels weird for you. Do some physical movement, do some toning and intention to reset and to reseal your field. So just go through that practice. This was an energetic draining thing. So I'm going to sit with myself. I'm going to clear my energy in field. I'm going to call my energy back to me. I'm going to reaffirm any boundaries that I have in place energetically, or if I need to physically as well. I'm going to turn some music on, maybe turn some frequency music on, or something that I really enjoy listening to that's going to get my body moving, and, or some other process, right? Go for a walk, get out in nature, go be around water. Like, there's so many ways to do that. And again, that toning and then setting the intention as well. So what does it feel like when your light body is fully sovereign? You feel grounded, expanded, clear, and unattached. You look at everything going on and you realize it for what it is. You're not attached to like outcomes. We just had an election in Canada. You've had an election in the States recently. There's an election coming in Australia as well. So there's all these elections that are happening right now. And you can make a decision and say that this is the lesser or the best choice given the what's before us, that this is like the best choice, but not be attached to any of the outcomes, because to realize that it's all the same, right wing, left wing, same bird, and you see it for what it is, and don't allow it to take your energy into a certain way. Because if it can control your emotions, it can control you, right? So don't allow it to control your emotions. So being detached is a big thing. So external chaos no longer dictates your inner peace. That's a big part of being a sovereign being, is what's going on out there. You're not seeing it and then, oh my God, right? Because then you're attached to all of that. And sovereignty is just looking at that and going, okay, so this is what it is. And what does that mean for me? Whatever it means for you specifically, but outside of, taking back your sovereignty and standing in that space, right? So manifestation also becomes magnetic and effortless, because you're sitting in the frequency of yourself, and everything that you're doing is from that space of genuine, the authentic space. And everything just magnetized to you. And it's like literally your address is glaringly clear about where they should be sending things. Okay. So can emotional waves distort my light body temporarily? Yes. Emotions are energy currents. If unanchored, they can ripple distortions into the light body. So when you feel intense emotion, pause, breathe, anchor, and allow the feeling to pass through without coding it into your field. So oftentimes we code it into our field because we identify it and we put a name on it, and then we put some more information on it, and we expand it and expand it. I just dropped my screen where my StreamYard was. Sorry, I just closed down my StreamYard. That was funny. I just minimized it all, but I got to get it back up here. So that's fine. That's fine. Alrighty. We're all good on YouTube. Perfect. Okay. So emotions. That's where we were, was emotions. Getting invested in emotions. Sorry, my brain. I'm going to take a drink of tea then, because my brain just dropped, like bumping my mouse and closing my StreamYard screen, bumped my conversation right out of my mouth. Yeah, don't let it control your emotions. Stay detached from it, right? You want to keep yourself sovereign. No problem. Come and hang out with me in the Temple of Light. It's a free group on my website. Yes, there are groups that start at 11.11 a month, 22.22, 33.33, and 44.44 a month. But there is a free group. There is a completely free group that I do suggest you go and join, because it provides lots of valuable information and it gives you practices. On Mondays, I post Celestial Sparks. I post a transmission on Thursday, a reflection on Saturday, plus lots and lots and lots of other stuff. So it's definitely a beautiful space to go for free. For free. All right. So emotions or currents, if unanchored, they can ripple distortions into the light body. We don't want to be getting invested. So you want to clear it as soon as you can, right? And don't give it a name. That's where we were at. See, I found it. So we don't want to be labeling it, right? Once we start to label everything with the experience, right? Like when we start going, oh my God, that's so terrible, blah, 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 blah. Then we start giving it a backstory. That's how we invest into it. That's how we shift the dynamic and we create the emotions. We give them a home and we bring them in, right? The more that you buy into the emotion and the more that you add to the emotion, like I said, through backstory, expectation, and all of these other things, the more that emotion seeds in your environment and drops your frequency, like tanks your frequency. All right, so we've got this beautiful Oversoul authority declaration that we're going to say now. This is really powerful. You're going to stand tall. I'm going to stay where I am because it would be difficult for me to do this standing tall because of this screen. And I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor. So me standing tall would mean that, you're going to be staring at my legs. And we don't need that. Not that there's anything wrong with my legs, but it'd be a really weird thing. Okay. So stand tall if you can. If you can't, definitely at least sit nice and tall. Okay. You're going to ground your feet into the earth for those of us standing tall. And if not, then at least ground yourself using roots coming out of your bottom from your root chakra. See those roots going down and grounding into Mother Gaia's core and spreading out far and wide and getting it all connected into the mycelium network. And so we're really grounded in. Okay. So we're just rooting ourselves into the crystalline roots, anchoring into Gaia's core, whether through your feet, being on the earth and grounding in that way, or from your bottom. And if you're not standing tall, sit tall. All right. So now we're going to stretch our arms out wide like wings of your Oversoul. Okay. We breathed in our wings today. So your big, beautiful wings out. We're going to close our eyes and summon the radiant pulse of your own divinity. So you're just calling yourself in, your radiant divinity. Right? Invite yourself in. Invite your Oversoul in. Now you're going to let your voice carry unwavering power as you repeat after me. This is a declaration or a decree, right? This isn't, a passive aggressive thing. This is assertion. So let your voice carry unwavering power as you declare, I am the living scroll of my Oversoul, encoded with eternal command. I breathe, speak, and move in crystalline truth. I magnetize only that which honors my divine architecture. I seal my light body in sovereignty, coherence, and grace. Now visualize golden filaments weaving around your body, sealing your light body like a sacred garment of light. Okay, so these beautiful golden, you're just covered in these golden filaments, just completely surrounded and encased in it, protected. Now pause and breathe deeply. Breathe again deeply. One more time. Feel your Oversoul's pulse stabilizing in every strand of your being. You are not just anchoring light, you are embodying command. Okay, there you go. Do that as much as you need to. Okay, so let's do a little bit of closing so that I can get myself ready for class. First, we're going to talk about a couple of things. So take a few moments to just sit in stillness and just listen to me, right? You're just going to keep breathing into your newly recalibrated light body. Just breathe into it. Okay. And just listen, right? Because I'm going to leave you with a couple of journal prompts, which will be available in the Temple of Light. The journal, like you can get these journal prompts from the Temple of Light. So that's where you'll find these things. So today I noticed energetic leaks when I blank. So you're going to be looking at the times where you noticed there was an energetic leak, either interacting with a person, being in an environment, doing an activity, eating a food, where you noticed that your energy whooshed, or where you went around somebody and felt that pull from your energy. 2, I recalibrated my light field by. So when you noticed that there was an energetic pull from or that there was a lowering, what did you do to balance your energy or to reclaim your field or to recalibrate it? Did you do breath work? Did you move your body? Did you do affirmations? Did you do toning? What did you do? Did you listen to frequency music, right? Any of those types of activities. I went for a walk. I interacted with my pet. Whatever it was. And then number 3 for the for the journal prompts is I now affirm my light body is a living temple of blank. So after you've spent the day of recognizing where you had these energy leaks and what practices you did to recalibrate your energy afterwards, then you're going to set your affirmation. Okay, for that. So let your answers be a declaration to yourself, a crystalline code confirming or affirming, that your field is a living architecture of divine authority, right? Your light body is not passive. It is an active current of manifestation, protection, and oversoul embodiment. So you can get this. I also have an embodiment codes of power journal, which is available at the Temple of Light. Practice the Oversoul activation track daily to harmonize with your spine, wings, and magnetic field. Like do that practice that we did. And you can also explore some of the other groups that I have to go a little further into working with me. And not that it's like working with me, but exploring some of the deeper teachings that I share or the deeper activations and stuff like that, whether that's through the Ascension pathway or the Ascension gateway or the Guardian pathway, or in the Still Waters Temple or the Oracle Circle. There's a variety of different groups to meet your needs. And there's also individual and also education stuff that's available there as well. But that's it for today for me. I'm going to hop off unless somebody has some pressing questions that didn't get answered in the earlier question part. But yeah, we don't have to take up too much of your time today. You get to run and be free, be really free, because you just did an energetic sovereignty practice, which is really cool. Just waiting to see that nobody has any questions. No questions. Everybody's good. No, I'm kidding. Some people are typing on their phone. I'm terrible at typing on my phone. There's sometimes when I'll be typing on my phone and I make so many typing mistakes. I'm like, people think I'm typing them a paragraph, and they're going to be so disappointed when they get a sentence because I've made so many typos, and I'm like back. Oh man, back. I have before. I haven't been. I've been. I don't have them out right now. I used to wear a crystalline. One that I had was. I'm just about heading off anyway. You should check out my YouTube channel, Anshara'El. Like it's Anshara'El, all one. Check that out. And also check out One Truth Sets You Free. It's a channel that I have on both TikTok and YouTube where I give you the divine truth on things like beyond the matrix. Like this is, some of it might be eye opening, like the illusion of money, the illusion of time, about the great cosmic wars, or about the way that about the illusion or the lies about the moon or the planets or astrology or all of that stuff. So yeah, so go check that out. And I just launched a new podcast on that channel called Hidden Earth. And the first podcast session came out and I talk about Lemuria. So if you felt drawn to Lemuria, definitely go and check that out. So it's One Truth Sets You Free, both on TikTok and on YouTube. But you can find all of that stuff out on the website too. So how my channel here is Anshara'El. It's Anshara'El.com, and it's Anshara'El on YouTube as well. So it's streamlined. And if you're ever curious, if you go to Anshara'El.com, you can check it out through 444, exactly. The angel numbers, right? And we're almost going to hit 1144, which is one of my favorite numbers too. 144, 1144, all of it. So that podcast is available on that channel. So if you, like I said, if you've ever thought that you might have ties to Lemuria, go listen to that and check it out. It's up on the other channel. I also posted, or am posting today. There's so many different practices, and there's so many there's so many different practices that I have on YouTube or on here or in the groups. And like I said, honestly, join the free group. It's free, guys. It's free, and you get all kinds of cool things from a free group. Things to help you maintain your energetic sovereignty, things that will help you to heal and grow and do all of those wonderful things. So yeah, today, if you're wondering what we talked about your sovereign light body, and we did a bunch of practices for that. And if you missed the live, go either to my website or go to my YouTube, because it'll be posted there and you can rewatch it there and do the practices. And definitely do the practices. I'll try to do my best there's no trying. I'll do my best to put a time thing on it of when that practice is, so that when you go and watch it, you can just go to that timestamp spot. But I've never done timestamps before, so I'll have to figure it out. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Right? We're sovereign. I will figure it out. I will do it. Anyway, I love you guys. Let me see. What are my show notes for? What are we going to talk about on May 1st, guys? That's the next show, is on the Thursday, the May 1st. Right? All right. Let me see. What am I looking at for May 1st? May 1st. The Emerald Heart of Gaia. So we're going to talk about some Gaia stuff on Thursday. Okay, so if you want to connect more to Mother Gaia and all kinds of, this will be doing like some planetary grid work talk. Like we'll talk about some of that. But yeah, definitely go and check out the free group at the very least, because it's free. But if you do, there's other groups that are available that might be of interest to you. But otherwise, I'll see you back here on Thursday, approximately 10:44 is when I start my live. But like today, I don't know. I'm like a child sometimes. I'm going to be honest. I'm like a child sometimes. I came and sat down here and it was so sunny, and then I just got enjoying that moment. And so I delayed my live to just soak up some sunshine. So I didn't start till later. But I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. And I hope that energetic sovereignty that we did today helped you out. And otherwise, I'll see you back here on Thursday. Love you. Love you.